Okay, so last night I sat at home and my life's kind of pathetic. I really didn't do anything on St. Paddy's Day, but I did watch Leprechaun's Revenge. It was a sci-fi premiere movie, and it was produced and directed by Drew Daywalt, who is the guy behind a YouTube channel that I like a lot called Daywalt Fear Factory. I'll put a link below. And I wanted to see what he did with a leprechaun horror story. The story's pretty basic. A girl at the beginning is hunting in the woods with her grandfather. She winds up picking a red 4-leaf clover. And in doing that, she releases this leprechaun, quote unquote. And it winds up wreaking havoc on this small Massachusetts town. Of course, as the movie goes on, we find out more about the town and more about how the leprechaun got there. But, you know, basically it's a monster movie. There's a few things I liked about this movie, and one of them was the leprechaun. It's a guy in a rubber suit, and at times the suit does look a little cheesy, but I like the concept they used. Instead of him being, you know, a little leprechaun with black shoes and tights and a little green jacket, he's more like a woodland creature. He looks a little bit like Pumpkinhead, but a miniature version. That's at least what it reminded me of. His head's not the same as Pumpkinhead, but he kind of reminded me of a Pumpkinhead style character. And there's a lot of comedy throughout this movie, you know, to probably get you laughing after you've had a few beers. And, you know, it's just like overdone Irish style. Well, not Irish style is a bad term, but it's overdone. I mean, there's scenes where green lights bathing on things, and then, you know, they have all their lines, top of the morning to you, the luck of the Irish. In fact, they use that line in one part of the movie. Within 2 sentences, they use luck of the Irish 3 times. And I mean, it's just, you know, I think it's intended to be kind of lighthearted, and they succeeded. I mean, I laughed a few times. Okay, so there's a couple things wrong with it also. One of them is the creature's cool, but you can tell it's a rubber suit. And at one point when he's attacking this girl, you know, you can see his little horn shaking because it's rubber. And, you know, it does get a little cheesy, probably a little too cheesy, but, you know, like I said, I think this movie was intended to be lighthearted. So what can I rate this movie? 1 out of 5 stars? 2 out of 5 stars? I'm going to grade it on a curve because, first of all, it's a sci-fi movie. And it's a horror movie about leprechauns, and I can imagine that's probably not an easy thing to pull off. So I'm going to rate it 4 out of 5 stars because it was a funny horror movie based on a leprechaun. It wasn't too funny. I mean, it was scary kind of in some parts. But, I mean, how hard is it to do a leprechaun movie that is scary? So I give Drew Daywalt credit for taking on the project, doing a pretty damn good job for a sci-fi movie, working with probably a small budget. So I'm going to give it, like I said, 4 out of 5 stars. Hopefully they play it next St. Paddy's Day so you guys can watch it, have a few beers. You'll probably enjoy it, laugh a little bit. And it's, you know, a good B horror movie.